Hello, my name is Abdullah and in this video I will discuss a recent and highly debated issue involving artificial intelligence and its ethical impact on society, specifically the use of predictive policing system in law enforcement. In recent years, AI tools have been developed to help police department predict where crimes might occur and who might commit them. These systems analyze historical crime data to generate forecasts and target high-risk individuals. While this might sound like science fiction, it's already been tested in several US cities like Los Angeles. So let me walk you through a real-life scenario. The Los Angeles Police Department, or LAPD, partnered with companies like Palantir Technologies to deploy predictive policing software. This goal was to use data analytics to predict future crimes, identifying crime-prone areas and the individuals likely to be involved in criminal activity. But this seemingly advanced use of AI came at serious cost. Investigation and watchdog reports revealed that the system disproportionately targeted Black and Latino neighborhoods. So, in some cases, people were flagged as potential suspects simply for living in a particular area or having past associations, even if they had no recent criminal history. So this led to increased surveillance, heightened tension in already overpoliced communities, and serious violations of privacy and civil rights. After mounting public backlash, LAPD discontinued parts of its predictive policing programming in 2022. However, similar tools continue to be used in other cities. Let me show you this heat map created by predictive policing software in Los Angeles. You can clearly see how areas like South LA and Boyle Heights were repeatedly flagged. These neighborhoods are predominantly communities of color. This visual represents how biased historical data leads to biased outcomes, targeting people based on geography more than actual behaviors. So let's now evaluate this issue using Kantian ethics. Kantianism is grouped by duty, dignity, and respect for person. According to this theory, the morality of an action doesn't depend on outcomes. It depends on whether it respects universal moral rules such as telling the truth or treating people as ends in themselves, never as mean to an end. So how does predictive policing measure up? Well, by relying on biased historical data, this AI system use individuals as tools to achieve lower crime stats without rejecting their autonomy or dignity. It failed to treat people as rational moral agents. Instead, it judged them based on location, data pattern, and algorithmic predictions. So, from Kantian perspective, this practice is deeply unethical. It violates the categorical imperative, the idea that action should be acceptable as universal laws. If every police department did this, society would spiral into a surveillance state with no rooms for fairness, trust, or individual rights. This graphic shows the core ethical challenge of predictive policing. You will notice key concerns like data bias, lack of transparency, violation of privacy, and automation bias. There are not minor technical bugs. These are fundamental flaws that threaten civil liberties and human dignity. From a Kantian view, all of these violate respect for person. Furthermore, let's consider the legal context. Predictive policing potentially violates Fourth Amendment of the US Constitution, which protects against unreasonable surveillance. It may also breach civil right law, especially if its deployment result in racial profiling or discriminating targeting. In conclusion, under Kantian ethics, predictive policing as deployed by LAPD is morally wrong. It treats people as data points, not human beings. The right course of action would be discontinue such system until they are transparent, fair, and accountable, if that's even possible. So now let's turn to the software engineering code of ethics. This code emphasizes that software engineering should act in the public interest, follow the law, and ensure their product meet the highest standard of safety and integrity. Several principles and clauses were violated. Like Principle 1, public interest. Engineer must prioritize public safety. Clause 1.02, software must be safe and well tested before deployment. This system was not. Clause 1.05 Engineer must cooperate with effort to fix software that harms the public. This didn't happen until public pressure. Principle 6 Profession Uphold the integrity of profession. Clause 6.06 Obey all relevant laws, including privacy and anti-discrimination law. So these systems contradict the essay code. The predictive software damaged public trust, reinforced racial bias, and was deployed without sufficient accountability. So crime reduction claims versus adult result. Here you can see graph where predictive policing was claimed to reduce crime by 12%. However, independent studies found little to no real impact across the city in some areas, less than 0.4%. The inflated claim was used to justify the system, which itself caused more social harm than goods. This supports that the Kantian critique, good intention, doesn't justify unethical means. Now, policing feedback loop map. Finally, take a look at the visual metaphor that explains how these systems create a feedback loop. Once a neighborhood is flagged, more police are sent there. More arrests happen, reinforcing the original data. This loop continues, trapping communities under constant surveillance. This is both a technical and moral failure. Therefore, based on both Kantian ethics and the software engineering code of ethics, the use of predictive policing in this form is not only flawed, it is ethically indefensible. Thank you for listening.